All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott from Jeff Teaches Programming. In the last video, we went over kind of quickly an introduction to databases. And I showed you some pictures and we talked about some of the things that was involved in databases. And I started to go through this, which is the W3 Schools SQL tutorial, which is very well done. Now, if we were to go down farther in here, what you'd see is this video SQL introduction, and I already went through this, and if you look, there's about a dozen or so videos that go through. They're anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes or so, and they go in through the basics of SQL. Now, I've decided, good, bad, indifferent, whatever, that I'm going to teach you by doing. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some liberties here. I'm going to go through and I'm going to build a database for you, all right? And I'm going to show you how to do it. But I'm going to use a tool that I'm not going to use. I'm going to use for a few lectures and then I'm not going to use anymore. So why am I doing that? Because it's kind of hard to get in and go through building a database inside of a C# program. We will eventually do that, I promise, but it's going to be a while. So I'm going to use this thing that I have in here. I haven't used in years, so it's going to be interesting. It's called XAMPP or XAMPP, and I'm going to build my own database. And Apache and MySQL, don't worry about what I'm doing there and using with that. It's really and truly not that important. All right, but I want to go over to here, I believe it is. And I'm going to be using a tool called phpMyAdmin to create these databases. You'll see if you look in here, I've already got some databases. This is for back when I was teaching, and we'll talk about all that stuff. You know, we're not going to actually go into any of that stuff, to be honest with you. But I'm going to build my own database. And it's going to have in here a combination of customers and orders. So I'm going to call it CustOrders. So I'm going to go over here to where it says databases. And I'm going to create a database, and it asks for the name. And I'm going to type in here, CustOrders. And I'm going to click Create. And you'll notice that over here now I've got a thing called CustOrders. That's exactly what I want. All right. So what I'm going to do is now I built a database. I've got the foundation. So this is going to be pretty simple. It's going to have two tables in it, a customers table and an orders table. So the first one, the name will be, we want CustOrders, and the name will be customers. That's the first table name. And each customer will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields in it. All right. Now this looks a lot harder than it really is, and if you were dealing with it on a regular basis, you'd probably have very little trouble with it. All right. Now, when you create these things, you can run, like I want a field here called first name. I can call it FIRSTNAME. I can make the N. I could take the N and I can make it capitalized, but I'm just going to use underscores. So I'm going to say first name. And then it says, okay, what kind of field is it? All right, and it's going to be a string field, but I'm going to say varchar, which means it's a variable length character field. And I'm going to say that each first name would be a maximum, maybe, I don't know, 20 characters. All right. Okay, so we've got that 20 characters. No default value, nothing in here. We don't have to worry about anything. In fact, let's do this. Let's change this. So I'm going to go back to here. Whoops. I'm going to go back to here. Yes, I want to leave the page. All right. We're going to put 5 fields in here. So customers, because I might as well show you how to link this stuff together. So we'll have a customers table with 5 fields in it. And the first field is going to be called just ID. In fact, let's call it customer ID. it'll be an integer field, and where it says here auto increment AI, that's not artificial intelligence, it's auto increment yes, and it's going to be what's called a primary key. All right, it's going to be a unique record identifier. So then we'll have a first name. That's going to be a varchar, a variable length character field. It'll be of size 20, nothing else for it. Then a last name. Okay, I goofed up. I want to add. Let's get rid of this. We're just going to do it again. Let's go back. We want 6 columns in there. This will be customers. Hopefully this time I won't screw it up. All right. So the first field again will be called customer ID. In fact, let's call it cust ID. Cust_ID. It'll be an integer. We will make sure it automatically increments, so it'll start with 1 and the next customer will be 2, etc. And it'll be our primary key. Then we're going to have a customer first name. It will be a varchar of size 20. Then we will make a customer last name. It will be a varchar of size 20. All right. Then next, we will have, how about an email? So a customer email, and that'll be a varchar. Sometimes emails can be pretty long, so even though we won't need it this long, we'll make it 100. And then we'll have a customer city, which will be another varchar. And probably won't need to be this big, but we'll make it 50. Finally, we'll have order date. And that will be, make it a date field. I don't know if that'll work. I made a string in my other one, but we'll try making it a date and see if it works. All right. I'm not going to put any comments in here. I'm just going to leave it like that. So I created a table. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fields in it. The customer ID is an integer field. Then we have first name, last name, email, and city, which are all variable length character fields. You can see the sizes. And then we have a customer order date field. So I could preview the SQL, and that shows me what's actually getting created. I'm going to leave that up there for a second. In fact, let's grab it. Let's put it in here. Let's copy it. And I'm going to go and bring it in here. Now, it looks pretty ugly, but I'm going to pretty it up so you can see what's going on. So the command is create table. You don't have to make it in, make it capitalized, but quite often that's done. All right. It's in a database that's called CustOrders. Notice there's backticks here. You use that because if we had a blank space, it would handle it. It's called customers. And then here's our fields. All right, so we could have typed this in as well, because this is what's happening behind the scenes. We're creating a table. It's in an existing database called CustOrders, and the name of the table is going to be customers. It has 6 fields in it: a customer or cust ID field, which is an integer. You'll see these all say not null, which means we can't leave any of them blank. And it'll automatically increment starting at 1. Then we have a first name, a variable length field of size 20 that again can't be null, and a last name, a variable length field that cannot be null, an email, a variable length field that cannot be null, a city, a variable length field that cannot be null, and an order date, which is a date field which can't be null. Our primary key, and another word for a definition for primary key, is unique record identifier. So that's how we'll be able to tell each record, because it'll have a unique number associated with it. This is the default engine in ODB, and you don't have to worry about it. Now, this is an implementation. This is an interface. We've been talking about these for quite a while. So I'm going to click Save. And there it is. It's showing me everything that's in there right now. All right, so it created those for me. And it's also showing me that I've got a CustOrders in here. Now I want one more table. It's going to be an orders table. So it's going to be called Orders. And it will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fields in it, I think. So 5. The first one is going to be called order underscore ID. It will be auto-incrementing, meaning it'll be a primary key field. The second field will be called order date. It'll be a date field. All right. Our next one I should have clicked go there. All right. Our next one will be total order amount. How about just order total? Order total AMT. Okay, for total amount, it'll be a decimal field. All right. Next, we'll have order status. In other words, has it been completed? Is it pending, etc.? And that will be a varchar, and we'll make that 25. Finally, we'll have one more field, and it's going to be our cust ID field. And it'll be an integer. All right, so let's look again and see if we can preview this. So I'm going to put this next to the other one. So there was the first one that we created. Put a little delimiter right here. And now we've got this one. So again, we've got a create table. Again, it's for our customer orders database. It's called orders. It is going to have an order ID, which is an integer, not null, and it'll automatically increment. It'll have an order date, which is not null. It'll have an order total amount, which is decimal, not null, an order status, which is a varchar, not null, and our customer ID, so we know who ordered it, and a primary key. So you can see, again, this is the implementation for this interface right here. So we now have two fields. We've got two tables, a customers table and an orders table. All right. And that's good. So let's start putting in some data. All right, we're at 15 minutes, and I think what we'll do to save a little bit of time is I'm going to come in here and let's go to our customers table. Okay. Now, there's all sorts of stuff that we could do in here. Search. I want to insert. So I want to put in some records. All right, notice that's what it's asking me to do in here. It wants a customer ID, a first name, a last name, an email, etc. Now, you could watch me type this, but to me at least, that's kind of a waste of my time. It's kind of a waste of your time. So what I'm going to do is I've already created these, and I'm going to show you what I did. This is some syntax. Not that one. This one. Here. So I'm going to tell it to insert into the customers table. The first name is going to be this, the last name is going to be this, and I guess I changed these. So this was cust first name. Notice I'm not putting in a customer ID because it's going to automatically be put in for me. At least I hope it is. A customer last name. A customer email. A customer city. And I don't know what I called this last one, so I'm going to go back and check it. Let's see. Cust ID, cust first name, cust last name, cust email, cust city, cust order date. All right, I'm hoping it gives me these without any errors. So the first name is going to be this. That's the first name field. The last name is here. That's the last name field. The email is here. The city is here. And the order date, this may screw up. I'm not sure if it'll take this or not, but it's right there. So I'm going to see if I can get this to work. And if it does, we're going to have 10 records in there. All right, so I want customers table. And we want to know, we want to insert, but let's see. I got to remember how to do this. It's been a while. I think it'll be from here. All right, so I just put all that stuff in there. Now I'm going to click go to tell it to go. And if it has an error, it's going to let me know. It says 10 rows were inserted. So hopefully those worked. How do we know if they worked? Well, let's click on customers again, and there we are. So now I'm going to go over to the other one, which was my orders table. All right, and I've got that in here as well. And this is order ID. No, we don't need that. I'm sorry. We don't need to put that one in because that one is a given for us. So we need order date. I don't think that the capitalization here matters. If I put it in lowercase, it wouldn't matter. I need the order total amount. I need the order status, and I need the cust ID. Now, if I do it right now, it's going to fail. And the reason it's going to fail is I have not, this field has got to go on the end. Because it's the customer ID. And I'm going to not put a customer 9 having any orders yet. Okay, so now I have to remove these. Okay, so again, I'm inserting into the orders table the order date, which will be the first field here, the total amount, which is here, the status, which is here, and the customer who ordered it, which is here. We'll see if this one works. So I'm going to go over to SQL. I'm going to get rid of this, and I'm going to paste in this. Usually, if something is going to fail, you'll get red marks or squigglies or something here. So, no data truncated. Well, let's see what it looks like. Oh, it did truncate there. Which I don't like. But for now, we'll deal with it. All right. So I now have 2 tables in here. And the tables are able to be linked to one another. So it's very similar to what I'd shown you before. I removed that picture. I wish I would have saved it. But we've got a customers table and an orders table. When I come back in the next video, because we're already at 23 minutes, so when I come back, then I'm going to run some queries on here. So you can start seeing why you use this, what it does, etc. So I'll be back with that in just a couple minutes. See you then.